Police were called to the venue in Glasgow over the weekend after complaints from furious parents. Children who were promised a celebration of chocolate were left in tears.
We were told on the experience to hand out a jelly bean, one jelly bean per child.
Oh, come with me and you'll see a world that was distinctly lacking imagination. This was the reality of Glasgow's Wonka experience.
So it's a scam. You've scammed children.
I've done nothing.
These have scammed kids. That's what they've done. It's a total scam.
So again, for the purposes of clarity,
But he's for the company.
he's the company, that refunds. Thank you for your time.
Dodging a lot of my questions, and even like on the day, for example, I went up to him and I asked, hey, I well knew the answer, but I was like, so when are we getting our lunch break? And he's like, you're not getting one.
The script was 15 pages, monologue, pretty much, of AI-generated gibberish.
What is that? It's the undone.
Guys, I need to rant and rave over what has happened over the weekend in Glasgow with this Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory experience that ended up in total chaos. Like, this has literally gone worldwide. This whole entire news story is absolutely bonkers, and I will give a breakdown over what happened. I'll be talking about the actors. I'll be talking about the fact that some people are literally saying that they were the unknown actor, even though they were not.
Ridiculous, but I also just wanted to say that I know a lot of people have also been trying to fake claim, randomly enough, some of these acting roles. I've made a post on Instagram, and I made sure to post a selfie with all of the actors, including myself.
We're talking about Billy Cole, who was the event organizer, who, by the way, it wasn't just this event that he was basically relying on AI to like boost it. Also notoriously known for creating AI books, like literally books that are made purely from AI and then distributing them over on Amazon. Yeah, you best believe this whole entire situation has just gotten so out of hand.
A chance for families to take a real-life journey through the dreamy chocolate factory as imagined by Roald Dahl. Now, come with me and you'll see a world that was distinctly lacking imagination. This was the reality of Glasgow's Wonka experience.
Oh my god, it's literally nothing.
Families paid £35 a ticket only to be greeted by some makeshift props and posters hanging from brick walls.
This is what you were greeted with?
Yeah. Okay, so as a complete and utter rundown, so basically there was this Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory experience. It was held over the weekend in Glasgow, which is in Scotland, if you are not already aware. So the ticket prices were about £35, which I believe is $44. But of course you have families which were literally travelling from like Dundee, they were travelling from all over the show with their families, spending hundreds of pounds just so they could have a Willy Wonka experience. Now, the website is still up, and this is what the website looks like, yeah. All this imagery just kind of promising a magical wonderland. Now, does this look like AI? Obviously it is, and we now know that it most definitely is. I mean, look at it. Look at it. So they're basically promising this amazing experience, like a fun day out.
My heart sank. It wasn't even like fear. It was just, I just felt sad because I was aware of how many kids were going to be coming through, and like just looking around the place and just being like, this is terrible.
Well, what ended up happening was that it was basically like an abandoned warehouse in Glasgow with this kind of decoration everywhere. They promised a tunnel, which was basically like a load of material with some like random mirrors. There was like, these actors who were trying to make the most out of it.
I laugh with the other actors about how bizarre this actually has went. I don't even look like the picture at all.
Basically, the whole entire thing was an absolute mess, and I'm just throwing up left and right what the actual thing looked like. And of course, people were desperately unhappy, and it actually got to a point where a dad actually telephoned the police because it was literally that bad. There were kids that were like screaming, parents were angry, there was literally it was a warehouse with like a few objects in it.
We guarantee a full refund starting from Monday.
No,
if you do not receive the refund,
I'm going to call the police.
If you don't receive refund,
Because you are now into liquidation, you are no longer a company.
No,
Is
absolutely
that
not.
why you don't have pictures up of your stuff?
No.
It's actual photo shuttle stuff you've got up. Sorry.
We use artificial intelligence in order to generate.
And eventually the event got cancelled after like not very long whatsoever. The event got cancelled, and the only way that the manager, or like Billy Cole or whatever his name was, wanted to tell everyone it was cancelled by leaving this like napkin. Like it looks like a literal napkin with like permanent marker on it saying event has been cancelled. Can you imagine turning up here with your family expecting this, you know, whimsical day out? I've got 2 kids of my own. I would be so upset, not just for the fact that I'd wasted money, but I'd be really upset for the fact that my kids had to like experience that. There's this like strange little character who we're going to get onto in just a minute, who would like pop up out of the realms the realms of this warehouse, like freaking people out, who was called the Unknown.
What is that? It's the unknown.
So everyone was then like targeting Billy, like the guy that was in charge of it. Now I do believe that he is the guy on the left, okay? Billy Cole, I'm pretty sure he is the man on the left, and the guy on the right is just like in cahoots. He's just like the second man in charge.
Nothing.
Is that why you hired bouncers? Because you knew we were all going to kick
No,
off?
these guys don't. These guys are like the caretakers of the building. They're the building people.
So if that was not already bad enough, we then have the poor actors who were driven into doing this. We have some actors who are basically saying that like the actual contract that they signed, it was like erasable ink basically, and the guy Billy was basically relying on like children, like minors, to be able to act for him.
Well, essentially, I'll give you the rundown. He was using child labor completely illegally. He was using erasable ink pen, and by the way, so like I took this one from the warehouse, and I knew what brand this was because I'm an artist. I should have mentioned that as well, but I'm an artist, so I know what these pens are. They're erasable ink pens. They're friction, so they're heat-based and all that kind of jazz, so don't need to go into that, but I was already like, oh, well, that's really interesting.
We've heard from like 2 of the Willy Wonkas of this scenario. Basically, it wasn't just the fact that the website and the overall design and like everything was in AI. The scripts were also in AI, so all of these actors were turning up and they had all these different like monologues, and it turns out that they were in AI.
The script was 15 pages, monologue pretty much, of AI generated gibberish. I'm not going to do the Willy Wonka voice because I think I've embarrassed myself enough over the last few days. But one of my favourite lines was, "There is a man who lives here. His name is not known, so we call him the Unknown. The Unknown is an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls." What? What is an evil chocolate maker for a start? Does he make evil chocolate? Or is he an evil man who makes chocolate?
But the whole thing made no sense, and so you had these Oompa Loompas and these actors just sort of like, you know, flouncing around, talking about this unknown evil chocolate maker spirit who lives in the walls. The actual script was AI, which is a very current theme when we're talking about the man called Billy who is running this thing, because like I've already said, he does a lot of things where he tries to like fraud people out of their money by using AI. Okay, I'll explain in just a moment. Now, this character called the Unknown has caused so much of a stir. This guy came up and was basically saying that he was that character, and it turns out that he wasn't. Which is really quite annoying because I literally wasted so much of my time listening to his story, which turned out to not even be true. There was this other guy that actually did a news interview, so he's completely 110% legit, and he's saying that the character of the Unknown is actually the 16-year-old girl.
I've made a post on Instagram, and I made sure to post a selfie with all of the actors, including myself. and that means all of them. There is no extras. There was 8 of us in total. 3 Willy Wonkas, 4 Oompa Loompas, and 1 unknown, and that unknown was a 16-year-old girl. So let's get that straight. We're going to completely debunk all of this.
He explained that the event manager was extremely shady, would not give him any breaks, and the whole entire, like, all the actors kind of knew what was up, like, to the point where they'd actually created a separate, like, a whole Facebook group where they were talking about the weird things that were happening, because they could just tell that this guy, Billy, who was in charge of this event, was just absolutely full of it, and something really strange was about to happen, and lo and behold, it definitely did.
A massive shit show. Everyone knows what happened on the day, but in terms of the context, there was a lot of shady crap going on with Billy Cole. So, essentially, I'll give you the rundown. He was using child labor, completely illegally. He was using erasable ink pen. I was the one to really notify like all of the other actors, like, hey, listen, I could be really paranoid right now, but keep your guards up. So what I'd done in response was I had created a group chat with everyone, and we all conversed with each other. From that, I did my own like bit of deep diving research, and I was messaging the chats like all night essentially, because instead of memorizing this AI script, by the way, I was like, no. So I went ahead and deep dived, and it was all AI generated websites. It was ridiculous ticket prices for this venue that wasn't even as described whatsoever, and I thought it was ridiculous. However, upon telling all of the actors all of this, and we all were completely aware this was not going to turn out well. So we decided to turn up anyway, though, because we'd been part of the contract. We needed to get paid, because a lot of us do need like job roles and whatnot.
So this was from Rolling Stone. It says huckster behind Willy Wonka event also sells AI written vaccine conspiracy books, and then basically goes on to say Cal, who did not return a request for comment, seems to be the sole employee of House of Illuminati, one of several companies he has registered. It was incorporated in November, and basically saying that everything is packed with AI generated art, advertising unparalleled immersive experiences. And so this is not the very first one he's come across. They said that since the Wonka fiasco, Cowell has taken steps to scrub various social accounts, taking down LinkedIn profile, YouTube channel, where it appears he presented himself as something of a business guru and life coach. His personal site also deleted, touted a number of dubious academic degrees, and said he worked as a consultant for a brand called Empowerity, which is now defunct. So yeah, he is an absolute fraudster, and we're just getting into the little bits of it, right? We're going to get into the meat and gravy section. So supposedly he had a whole entire scheme set up to like feed thousands of families, and then that just like fell through. But what is the absolute kicker is the fact that he had 16 books on Amazon, which, by the way, you can still see a lot of them, that were published in the summer of 2023, some of on the very same day. The synopsis for each is AI generated according to GPT-0 analysis, and so is the text between the covers, like, as one irate reviewer complained. And trust me, if you type in this guy's name and then go on Amazon, you will find some really bad reviews, because not only are the events that he manages AI, the scripts, the actors, the things, not only is that AI generated, he's also AI generating books. What is this man doing? While some of the stories are generic puzzle-driven plots in the vein of the Da Vinci Code, others, like Selling Innocence, are geared towards paranoid right-wing politics, basically talking about like anti-vaccination and all of that. Like this man is this. I don't even know what to even say. Like, the more you dig into this man's history, the worse it gets. But from my own understanding, I don't think anyone has been refunded for this mess. I don't think, like, actors weren't even going to be paid. The whole, like, erasable ink situation, were they ever? Like, the whole thing is just so fishy. And for him to even be there on the day, do you know what I mean? Like, he's literally stood there in, like, wherever he is, arguing the toss. It's like, how do you think this was going to go? Also, the actual place is called like House of Illuminati. Like, can we just think about that title just for a minute? Like, the whole thing is so bad. So bad. And I feel so bad for the people who are actually spending their money, who actually wasted their money on this thing. Like, yes, the memes are absolutely hilarious. The whole unknown thing I actually find hysterical, because it, like, it's just like, I'll play it to you one more time.
It's here within these walls, the unknown.
But come on, like, that is hysterical, and I've seen it being posted about. But the fact that this guy thought he could get away with this, it's just not good. This is not a good look. And I feel really bad for the kids as well. Like, imagine if I took my own kids there and they thought they were gonna have like a Willy Wonka surprise with some chocolate, not like one singular jelly baby. Like, what the hell is going on?
On the experience to hand out a jelly bean, one jelly bean per child, and a quarter of a cup of Tesco's own brand lemonade.
You think that, you know, you're going to have a great time, and then you get jump scared by this weird floaty thing. And it's basically just like an abandoned warehouse with like a singular jelly bean. I don't know. I feel like I'm focusing too hard on the jelly bean, but I would be really upset. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video at least. I hope it has brought some light relief, because from the outsider's perspective it looks kind of funny, but I wouldn't want to be stuck in the situation of trying to get my money back or trying to heal kids' trauma from the unknown. Like, oh god. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.